Story of Black Sabbath's Nib. One day, Lucifer fell in love with a mortal woman. To win her heart, the devil smiled a promise of danger. Grabbing his guitar, he sweet-picked his best song, placing a spell on her. With each note, Satan serenaded her soul into oblivion. Attempting to achieve redemption, the Dark Lord danced across the fretboard, escaping the fires of hell through the power of love. In this video, I'll teach you the Devil's Sweet Picking Challenge. It's a demonic progression that descends deeper into hell with each arpeggio. We'll be using the Black Sabbath song Nib to shred each tasty lick. Now grab a front row seat as I analyze the music theory and themes behind this classic track. Stay tuned for my top strategies on mastering sweet picking using the cage system. Full tabs will be below on Patreon. Now let's get into this Devil's Sweet Picking Challenge. The first thing I want to do is tab out the exercise that I played at the beginning of the video here. And like I said, we'll be using the cage system to do this. Oh, I thought I had something there. Give me a minute. All right, so we're going to begin with this E minor arpeggio beginning on the 14th fret of the D string. And I'm going to show you how we can do this. It's actually, if you're just getting started with sweet picking, this is a great exercise because it's not that challenging. So what we're going to do is down pick the arpeggio as we ascend. And then on this 14th fret, the chilling 9th scale degree or F sharp, we're going to do an upstroke. And after that, it's going to be all legato, which means no picking. And that essentially is our template that we're going to be using. So I'm going to put in here E minor. So that sequence, yeah, that's it right there. So the mechanics of how to play this, what you're going to want to do is, yeah, of course you got downstroke, 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 and then up on that cold, chilling 9th degree, and then the rest of it is legato, which means no picking, right? So that shape there comes from, believe it or not, an E minor chord. And I do want to just map that out for you really quick so that we have kind of a bird's eye view of what's going on. So if you play a standard E minor chord, which I imagine most of you probably know, that E minor in open position, I'm actually using that same pattern. I'm just moving it up to the 12th fret. So that's the power of the cage system, is that they're movable patterns. So if you can visualize that, it's going to be a big help. And then what I'm doing, you know, is adding a couple of those top notes. So can you see it? I'm just playing a part of that chord. Now, let's continue and descend to the depths of hell with each arpeggio. And the goal, of course, is to win over your girl's heart, right? And the song Nib by Black Sabbath stands for Nativity in Black. What a great song title. And the whole concept behind this tune is that Lucifer falls in love with a mortal woman. And, you know, maybe he can save his soul through the power of love. It's actually a really cool concept. So the next thing we're going to do is descend through this Andalusian cadence, and I'll talk more about what that cadence is in a minute, with a D chord. So let's head down to D. We got F sharp, we got A. That's how you spell a D chord, D, F sharp, and A. And then, let's see, whoops, down to, or actually, let's see, what am I doing here? We're going up to 14, back down to 12. and down to 10. Okay. Good. Beautiful. And actually, that's going to go in the next bar. So we double up each of these patterns now that I'm thinking about it. So you spend one whole bar on each. In other words, you're going to play each shape twice. So the E minor goes twice. And then the D in the next measure goes twice. Give me the D, son. And then we just have, we're 50% done at this point. And the shape now, once we get to this D, changes slightly, right? Instead of a minor chord, it's going to be a major. So just a little bit different there. And the techniques that you can use here, try just isolating it, right? Just doing the right hand. It's that sweep all the way down and then the upstroke. So if you can sort of dial in that mechanic separately from your fretting hand, you're going to be able to isolate the mechanical issues that are happening. And then, you could do the same thing actually with your left hand. You could just play the left hand or the fretting hand. Whoops. So I'm not picking here, right? And you're just trying to develop that strength on your left hand. You could just do the legato part on the top of the strings. Sweep picking, there's a lot of different things going on, so it's helpful to kind of break the problem down into smaller units so you can knock it out. Okay, let's move on to our C major chord. Actually, what I want to do is post my little template there. Okay, we're going to go C. That's not a C, is it? So there we go. That's the C word I'm looking for. Then we got an E, then a G, and another C, and now we're going to descend up the scale with that pattern. And there's our C. So I'm going to copy and paste that over. Oh, yeah. Out of me, demon spirits. C. Okay, the last bar is very special. This is when we play the 5 chord or the B major. This is your time to make an artistic statement, and that's kind of what I did here. What I did was added the flat 9 right there, that C, which is really spicy, and then I also added the sharp 9 right there, or D. That just gives us a little extra character and drama and interest. So I'm going to type in B, which stands for bitch. Okay, so there's our exercise, and let's listen to it. Down to the D, down to the C, down to the B. Beautiful, right? Now, this exercise here, actually, what we'll do first is let's try playing it over the track, and then I want to break down the music theory behind this iconic progression. Okay, so here's the track, and I'm going to try the chords first. Here we go. Is it E minor, down to D, C, and B. Love it. Here's the lick. Head up, little variation. Oh yeah. So there's a lot of different things we can do there that are really fun, and I'll actually talk about those as we get back into Guitar Pro. So this is called an Andalusian cadence, this demonic progression that descends into the depths of hell. And it's a really special sound. What I'll do is, let's see, what will I do? How about, let's try this. There's many different, voicing principles we could use. Let's try that to start. So that'll be our E minor chord. And I'm going to do this in half notes just so it's easier to visualize, even though it's really whole notes. So keep that in mind. That's kind of fun to keep those high strings open there. I'm going to switch back over to my clean. And then we'll go C. Oh, man, it's so good. And then we'll go, oh, man, just the sense of completion and finality and the arc. It's the perfect storytelling arc. You can hear like a great movie plot unfolding or the hero's journey, being told. We have that E minor down to the D, or maybe this, and then the C. Oh, man. And then the B. I love that part. We could do another one up here if we wanted. That's the D and then the C. Oh man, that one gets me every time. Okay, so let me put in the labels here. We've got the D here. Give me the D. We got the C and the B. And together, this forms the Andalusian cadence, which maybe, originated in Spain, in the Andalusian region of Spain. It's associated with flamenco styles, but you also hear it in the music of Bach. I hear this in Bach all the time, and man, is it good. So it's an old, ancient progression that's just been programmed into our DNA over hundreds of years. Now, one other thing I want to bring up here about this Devil's Sweep Picking Challenge is variations you can do. So this Andalusian cadence can be done in a million different ways, and I think the biggest mistake I see my newbie composers make is not understanding what the essence of composition really is, and that is repetition and development. When I give them a modal chord progression, for example, that's two chords, the first thing they'll often tell me is, hey, Shred, what are the other chords I can play? And the answer is you can't play any other chords. If you want a Lydian sound, for example, that's E to F sharp. It's not G sharp to A sharp diminished. It's E to F sharp. So you have to stick with that core formula, and the way that you do it in different ways and vary it, that's where the music comes in. So that urge that you have to try new things, that is how you do it, is you create a different way to say the same thing. You don't just do something completely different. You change the way that you said the original thing. And that's not easy to do. So here's one way you can do it. Let's start with this octave E, and that'll be our E minor. Then we're going to move up to this D over F sharp, which is a contrary motion figure. The bottom voice is moving up, and the top voice is coming down. But these dyads, I like to think of like Dave Mustaine when I play these sorts of figures, because he likes his dyads. Then you're thinking, okay, what could I do for the C chord? How about that? C over G, and then this is great. We'll do this. There's our B major chord, and it doesn't even have a B note in it. But you hear the sound go by. I mean, listen to it, right? There's the D, the C, and the B. So you can still hear that harmony. And that, my friends, is the essence of composition. Repetition and development. It's like a character in a movie, you know, going through a transformation on his hero's journey. It's not like we just suddenly switch from, you know, the main character to another character halfway through the movie, and then 3/4 we switch to another character. That's what it's like when you just change musical ideas sort of randomly and haphazardly. What you want to do is use the same character or the same theme, but develop him over the course of your storytelling in your song. Now, I'd love to hear you take part in the Devil's Sweet Picking Challenge. Join my Patreon page below and post your version in the Discord chat. Until next time, shred till you're dead.